All right, Metalheads, this is DJ REM, and I have Eric Claro from the band Thrust on the line. How's it going tonight, brother?
Pretty good, man. How you doing, Rem?
It's great. Great to have you on air again tonight. I always enjoy talking to you. As I say every time, I've been following your music career for a long time. We've done several interviews, which I never get bored talking to you. So it's awesome. It's always a new adventure with the new band and everything. And I'm just happy to see that I feel, at least from a fan perspective, it seems like you found the right band now that you fit with at home. Feel at home with, probably, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it took a while to really, get with the right group of people, and for a while I decided to just quit doing the whole band thing.
Right. And
just started doing like more studio work, and I just started doing more of like recording for certain musicians or certain artists, and just doing vocal tracks and stuff like that. And until one day, one of the guys from the band, Angel Rodriguez, hit me up and wanted me to come down, and that's how it all worked out.
Yeah, it's badass, badass.
Cool.
So yeah. Let's talk about Thrust. So why don't introduce yourself, your spot in the band, and let's introduce the rest of the guys that are not on air with us tonight, if we can.
Okay. Well, I'm Eric Claro, vocalist for the band. I got Ron Cook on guitar, Angel Rodriguez on guitar. You got Raja Gervais on bass, and we have Joe Resendiz on drums.
Okay, so very good.
Both lineup.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this band has actually been around for quite some time, correct?
Yeah, the band's been around since '81. Actually, started off in Chicago, and Ron and the lineup back then decided to go to L.A. and sure enough, they got picked up by Metal Blade Records and got on compilations and everything. So that's how it started for the band, and released their first album in '84, which was Fist Held High.
Nice. So are you guys on a label right now, then?
We actually are. We got picked up by Pure Steel Records in Germany, and they are releasing our album in this coming April. The end of April, towards the 27th of April, is when the album's due out.
Okay.
So
is the whole album, is it done now? Is the album complete?
Oh, the album's complete with album cover and everything, and so it's just ready to be put out there. Which will be Harvest of Souls is the name of the album.
Did I see the? I feel like I did. Yeah, you have the cover art's actually on your Facebook page, right?
Right, that's correct.
Yeah, and that's badass. Who put that together and designed that for you guys?
Oh my God, I don't have his name right now, but he's not in this country. I believe he's in Germany. He's a German artist.
Okay.
I apologize for
no,
the
that's okay.
That I get it down.
So let me ask you this then: How did you guys go about looking for or finding someone to do the artwork for you?
Well, we actually have been banging heads on this. I had a person that was a really good artist, and Ron had somebody else that Ron, the guitar player, had someone else, and a couple, we just trying to mesh it up and try and figure out which artist would be perfect for what we really need. And Ron landed this guy and found him, and he sent us some idea. We sent them some ideas that we wanted that'll fit the title of the album, and it ended up being the perfect cover right away. He sent us, and we all loved it, and it's a perfect album for the title.
All right, awesome. So how long did it take you guys to put this material together and get it to the studio and get it to this stage? How long did that process take?
We started working on new material. We went into the studio, I'd say, a little bit after May of last year. So it wasn't too long, and we just pounded on working on the songs and writing, and did a lot of time in the studio. So we finished about 7 months finishing the entire album with
Nice.
10 songs.
Okay.
And then we started searching for labels.
Right.
That's where we started shooting it out to labels, and we had quite a few that contacted us and wanted us to get on their label, and we found it best to for the band to be with Pure Steel, which had the best offer for the band.
Gotcha.
And
So, how long after you joined the band did everybody kind of realize, okay, this is going to work good, so let's get this album going? How was it pretty quick?
It wasn't that quick that we started working on songs. It's because when I got with the band in 2016, late 2016, which was September, they had a festival lined up already, Frost and Fire, to play at. And I only had like a month, 3 weeks to about a month to learn all the songs, which I've never heard, and get all the lyrics down.
Right.
My own thing on there. So I was pretty pressured into really getting all the material down to play this festival. And luckily enough, it all worked out for everybody and for myself as well, And after that, we played more shows, and we didn't really concentrate on really working on new material. We just kept pounding the old songs out, for these shows, because there were back-to-back shows that we had.
Right.
And I think it was just after the Up the Hammers is when we really concentrated on working on new material.
Okay.
Which was in May. Yeah.
And when you guys did a tour over in Europe too, right?
Yeah, that was we did Germany, and then we did the Athens, Greece for Up the Hammers.
Okay.
So that was really cool for me. That was my first time going out, and it was a blast, man.
So that was your first time playing in Europe then?
That was my first time.
Yeah.
The guys that played prior.
Gotcha.
So as far as the metal fans out there are just amazing. Really good people too.
Yeah. So I guess the next big thing is to go play at Wackenfest, right?
That's what we're trying to get on, man. We're trying to get on as much festivals as we can. Maybe towards the end of this year into next year, into 2019. We want to get on the cruise festivals as well.
Right.
As well as Europe and South America, and then maybe into Japan if we can.
Oh yeah.
So we're looking at everything right now, and we're trying to work our little brains out to try and work out the details of which, where, and how to get there. So it's quite a task, but
right.
it happen once this album comes out. Very confident.
Well, yeah, definitely wish you guys the best luck with that. Are you guys kind of doing all that on your own? Do you have like a manager working on that for you guys, or I guess what's your process?
Right now, no, we're pretty much on our own, and sometimes it's the best to do things on your own, but then it gets a little hectic with everything else going on in your life. So it takes a little bit of its toll when it comes to that. But we have the label as well, kind of pushing the albums, which is really great for us. That we really don't have to do that, and they have all these people working under them to really get the album out there, and But as far as the bookings and stuff and everything else, we try and manage everything ourselves at this point.
All right, cool.
But we get somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. With the new album coming out, do you guys have shows lined up to go out and start promoting it once it hits?
Yeah. Actually, our first is in April, right when the album comes out. We're going to be playing the next day in New York, in Brooklyn.
Oh, sweet. Where at? What club?
Yeah. It's called the Paper Box.
Oh, okay.
In Brooklyn, New York, and it's for the Armageddon festival.
Okay.
That's going to be held out there, and it's going to be for 3 days: Thursday, Friday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm sorry, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 3 days of metal.
So it's an outdoor festival then?
It's an indoor. It's
okay.
inside some venues, two venues, split venues that it's going to be, played at, by various bands. So it should be pretty cool. Then after that, we will be heading for Mexico, and then hopefully we'll be heading further down, and then we have an Ohio thing as well, and hopefully Texas. So we have quite a few things, bouncing around right now.
All right, cool. We need to try to get a Michigan thing on there, right?
We're trying to get to, we're trying to get to Michigan, man. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Let's get some Michigan going.
Cheers to Michigan, man.
Well, then we can actually...
Motor City Madhouse.
Right? And then we can actually meet in person. I mean, we've talked tons virtually, but,
Right, man.
I need to be able to buy you a beer and hand it to you.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Looking forward to that, Rem.
Me
Definitely
too.
Looking forward to it.
Me too. I might just have to come out to California to make it happen. Who knows? We'll see.
There you go, dude.
At least it's warm out there.
Yeah, I got a place to stay. No worries about that.
Awesome. Okay, I have a couple questions from the chat room for you. First question is, what are your current, and this may be a lot to rattle off. The question is, what are your favorite top 10 bands?
Ooh.
How about we go top 3?
Top 3 bands. I've got...
Current.
Okay, Sabbath. Black Sabbath. Dio years, preferably. Rainbow. Deep Purple. Zeppelin. I can't name off the albums because they're all good. And,
right.
But I prefer a lot of the 70s rock, heavy metal bands.
Oh, yeah.
70s, into some of the 80s. Not too much into 80s metal, but there's some that I really like. Not quite all of them.
Right, yeah, I know. I understand.
I know that's going to piss off a lot of people, but oh well, that's my shot at it.
That's the beauty of metal. We have so many different genres and everything going on, There's something out there for everybody.
Right, it's just blown out of proportion now with metal, which is cool because you've got all kinds of people and you get to meet all these people and befriend them, and it's just a big community.
Yeah, I mean, everybody hates on like Nickelback, but yet they're out there filling stadiums full of people.
And that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, you can bag on them all day, but you know what? Unfortunately for metal, it's not as pushed as it is for bands like Nickelback, Soundgarden, and all these other bands.
Right.
For metal, it's on the down low, man. You won't really hear, Pantera on not unless you're on the East Coast or something like that. But out here, you won't hear it at all, man. You'll hear like maybe Tom Petty, as hard as you can go on the radio station out here, maybe Zeppelin,
That's the beauty of satellite radio.
Yeah, it's the best, man. Just tune in to satellite radio. Tune in on, it's what you want to hear.
And even better than satellite radio is you can go on your phone and there's this TuneIn app you can download, and you can type in Metal Devastation Radio, and it brings it right up, and you can crank us right in your car 24/7.
Some really good metal right there.
And you're going to get, that's a cool thing about our station, you're going to get all those different genres, all those different styles of metal. I mean, if you're a black metal fan, there's going to be DJs playing black metal, you can listen to black metal till you die, man, if you want.
All that stuff.
Yep, exactly. And you know what? There's a lot of that. Actually, there's a lot of that I even like. But like with my show, if you tune into my show, you're gonna hear black metal, you're gonna hear power metal, you're gonna hear Pantera, you might hear some Alice in Chains. I mean, you never know what you're gonna hear when you tune into my show.
It's a good mix, man. You've got a really good mix of things that you put on. So sure, cheers.
Yes, hell yeah. All right, we have another question in the chat. Let me see here. It's getting out. It's getting out of control. The chat room.
No, good.
Okay. Oh, what was your favorite spot in Europe when you were there?
My favorite what?
What was your favorite spot in Europe when you were there?
My favorite spot? I guess that was the top of the hotel we were staying at, which was the Oscar Hotel in Athens. They have this pool up there. You could see the everything, man. You could see all around the city. And I remember drinking moonshine in the morning. It's Greek moonshine, dude. And it was made in this Coke bottle. It was in a Coke bottle. We were having breakfast. I think it was like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I think I was having a Bloody Mary or something. And the bartender, there's all the musicians were there, pulled out this bottle of Coke with the label peeled off. And look at that. It looks like water, dude. You're going to give us
Right.
And it ended up being homemade moonshine, man. And he, gave us all a shot, and then I did some with guys from the bands there, like Attacker, and and we just pounded, man. It was good. It was good stuff.
It probably didn't take you long to get pounded, did it?
Well, not pounded, but maybe just took a little sip here and there. It was good.
I remember I was sitting one night with my neighbors having a bonfire, and they had made some homemade apple pie moonshine, and I had a red Solo cup and a half of it. I was like annihilated. It was so strong. Oh, man. There was one guy there with us. He was sitting. He was just, for like an hour, he did nothing but stare at the fire. He didn't move. We had to keep poking him to make sure he was alive.
Look enough, the song Jump in the Fire by Metallica wasn't on.
Right. Yeah, good thing. Definitely. Good thing. Good thing. Okay. Shameless plug time for you. Where is a good place for people to go to find out more about Thrust? What social networking? What website? What do you guys use to push the band?
Yeah, they could get on thrustonline.com, and they could see everything on there. Pushes all the Facebook pages and everything. They could also get on Thrust Metal on Facebook as well, and we also have a Reverb. Thrust on Reverb, so all those are pretty much a lot of internet sites that they can go to.
And then when the album comes out, where can they go buy it and support you?
It's going to be out all over it's going to be online. They can go on Amazon. It's going to be sold in CD, and that's going to be, passed on to probably like Target and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be all over the place. Just get online and get it for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about doing any vinyl?
We are going to get vinyl as well, but we're starting off with CDs, and then vinyls will come right after.
Right.
So those are going to be neat. Yeah.
You need to let me know when that's out, because I want it.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely get one. We're definitely vinyl is really pushing really hard right now. It's the thing, man. It's coming back. Pretty soon you're going to get 8-track, Thrust and 8-track, dude.
I don't know, but I don't know if we need that.
Yeah, right.
A lot of I've seen with some of the labels that send me music, especially like the black metal ones. A lot of those black metal bands are putting their stuff out on cassette tape too. So that's kind of
Really?
Here, I'll show you something.
Yeah.
Check this out.
What is that? Are you kidding me? Really?
It's like a Walkman cassette player.
Yeah. Wow. That's a new style of cassette.
No, that's an old one from the 80s.
Oh, my thing about cassettes, my only thing about that is that they tend to tangle up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why you use a pencil, man.
Huh?
A pencil. Use a pencil to fix it.
Exactly. You do one of these, let me throw it on there.
Uh-huh.
Just spin that thing.
And if the tape breaks, you use a little Scotch tape and you put it back together.
That's right. That's what we used to do, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I mean, for the most part, I think it's going to just be a collector's type of item thing. It's not so much, okay, I'm going to pop this in and play it and get it all.
Right on.
Yeah, but basically you want the album, the vinyls, because that's where you get the really crisp, clean sound of a record,
No,
So,
have you listened to the new Judas Priest yet?
no, but a lot of people are actually comparing one of their songs to one of our songs. It's the same type of, and it's funny because we were both going to come out at the same time with the same, with the album. But one of their songs has the same type as The Sorceress. I don't know the title of it, but it's that same rhythm.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be interesting because
song, but yeah, some comparison to it.
The last week, I've listened to that album probably 10 times from beginning to end. It's that good.
Really good album, huh?
Yeah. So definitely check it out. The point though, I wasn't trying to talk about Priest. Where I was going is on the vinyl. They put it out on vinyl, and if you go to the record shop, you can get it like in red. It's so cool looking.
Wow.
So
and
cool.
See, that's what we were looking at too. We were trying to figure out the band. We were trying to figure out what color should we go with since they have so much to offer. You can even do a design on the album as well. So we're definitely working on that right now.
Cool.
It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I have a band I play on my show called Mother Slug. I have their stuff on vinyl and it's green, so that's pretty cool too.
Mother Slug.
Yep.
Pretty cool name, man.
Yep.
Like this one band back in the '90s called Mudhoney.
I remember them.
You remember Mudhoney, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. I think we're about the same age, man.
Yeah, I think we're right there.
I think we're pretty close.
Cheers.
I have a little more gray than you though.
Oh no, I've got a lot, dude. Right there. Got the streak going. Got some back here.
So let's talk about you a little bit. And I know we've had this discussions before, but I know every time I have you on air, we're getting new fans, new listeners. So I want to make sure that they know about you.
Okay.
So just what were your influences growing up that got you into metal? Obviously, this is your thing that you love to do. So I guess kind of what helped drive and build that passion for you with it?
I pretty much grew up with a lot of 70s music, 70s rock. I guess I was influenced by my uncle. He turned me on to a lot of Deep Purple, a lot of Zeppelin, a lot of Rainbow, Yes, and all that. And when the 80s came around, it kind of progressed, into Iron Maiden, and then Dio, and then Slayer, Venom got heavier, and then Pantera later on. So, but all those bands really influenced me. But vocally, Iron Maiden and Ronnie James Dio, Bruce Dickinson and Ronnie Dio, pretty much put me where I am. But now I'm kind of pulling away a little bit from that. It's hard when you're a vocalist. You grow up listening to a certain type of singer. You tend to kind of lean towards that, and it's hard to kind of pull away from it because you want to create your own voice. You want to have your own voice come out.
Right.
And at times it still comes out as sounding a little bit like this or a little bit like that. But Maiden and Dio.
So what have you had to do as a vocalist to pull yourself out of that so you sound like Eric and not one of these other guys?
It takes time, man. It took me a while to really, because I was so highly influenced by these guys, and I played, back in the day when I first started off, I was like 18, 17. I used to play backyard parties, and back then you used to do all the covers, Priest, you used to do Maiden, you used to do, and to pull away from that, I had to really find myself, and the way I talk is kind of like the way I kind of wanted to pull away from it and sound like the way I talk normally.
Right.
So it's right. It's doing that, but there's still segments of when I kind of sound like certain people, and I'm compared to certain people, which isn't a bad thing.
No, that's
what I grew up with.
Right.
Right. What are you gonna? If I sound like Barbra Streisand, sorry.
If you sound like Barbra Streisand, we wouldn't be talking right now, buddy.
That's right.
Well, I would take that back. Time out. I would still talk to you, but
she's a good
I would
singer.
still talk to you, but we wouldn't be talking about music right now.
I agree. I agree.
I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Another question from the chat. Have you heard of the band Evergrey? And if you have, what do you think of them?
Evergrey, I'm really sorry. I have not heard of the band Evergrey, and I'm not really up to par with, I don't know if they're a new band, but I'll take a listen. Evergrey, I'll look them up.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to check them out, too, because when the question was asked in the chat room, I actually had to ask if that was a band or a booze. So, I'm like,
Right, exactly.
No, so sorry, Ginster. We tried, man. We tried.
Yeah. Cool name, though.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Cool name.
Oh, there's so many bands out there, you know. So as far as yourself, so that kind of gets us to, you know, your sound and, you know, did you have anybody, like, growing up in your family that was musically inclined that kind of started you off in the beginning, just, you know, just in music in general?
Yeah, I had an uncle that sang. You know, I really liked his voice. He was a tenor. You know, and I kind of told my dad, hey, I like, you know, the way he sings and stuff like that, you know. And so by that, my dad told me, well, why don't you join choir at school? So I did during like my, you know, not so much high school, but my middle school years. You know, I sang for like 2 years in choir. You know, we did all the Christmas songs at the mall. So, you know, but that was fun. And then when I moved to Houston, I joined the choir there, and did the same thing, Christmas songs at the mall, which was fun.
Hey,
you know?
It got you started, right?
It got me started, man, you know, and I learned, you know, this and that, and, you know, but later on in life, it's when you really get to really develop your voice a little bit more.
Right,
so.
right. Okay, cool. Okay, is there anything, while I'm thinking here, is there anything that you want to make sure that people know about Thrust? Anything we haven't talked about the band that you want to make sure people know about as you know, as you guys progress and move forward?
We just want you know, our audience to know that we really deeply appreciate their commitment to the band, and we also want them to know that we'll be coming to their town soon. I know it's been being worked out right now, but we promise we will hit your town and we will get to meet up and everything. So it's just taking a bit of time, but that's all going to come down.
Yeah,
you know?
Very cool.
Yeah.
And just so they all know, I have two Thrust tracks lined up to play. So they're going to get to hear Deceiver and the Sorceress. So
yes.
They're going to get to hear some brand new stuff from the band, which is cool. It's actually cool for me because it's going to be brand new for me too. So it's like Christmas. It's like Christmas right now.
Right. Thank you.
Badass. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna play them some music, and I'm gonna let you go. Thanks again for taking time to talk to me. Appreciate it. I'll get the recording out to you eventually.
All right, sounds good, man. And thank you, REM. Appreciate it, man. Every time, dude, you come through, and we really appreciate it, pushing the band and everything, and looking forward to meeting you, man.
Yeah, right on. And I'll talk to my buddy tomorrow. We'll see if there's any chance of getting Thrust at Michigan Metal Fest. That would be super cool.
Got to get there, man.
Yeah.
Got to get us there. So happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody.
Yep. Cheers, brother. Tell the rest of the band I said hello, and tell them I look forward to meeting them as well.
All right. Looking forward to it, man.
Okay.
All right.
Take care, man.
Take care.
Peace.
Bye-bye.